CompTIA Network Plus. So CompTIA is a generic type of a certification in which everyone can appear in this. So you don't require any prerequisites for this. You can just direct apply for the examination and you can sit. So, but still you need a good knowledge about the network, that how the network work and how the flow of the network is there. So the certifications over here, first of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Mohammad Zair Siddiqui. As Shane have told you, I have a 12-year experience in different technologies. I was working for Cisco Systems for more than 5 years. I'm still working for them as a part-time, and I have given several certifications: AWS, CCNA, CompTIA Network Plus, CompTIA Security Plus, ITIL, Linux, and PMP. I'm willing to give the certification by the end of this month. I have a hands-on experience on different Cisco security products, that into Cisco ESA, SMA, and different products. Lot of products include like that. That include a lot of products of Cisco. So that's myself. So about the examination, what CompTIA, as I told you, CompTIA is basically a generic type of a certification. It is not towards Cisco, just like a Cisco, like you just study the Cisco product. Juniper's, you study Juniper's product. Palo Alto, you study Palo Alto products. But unlikely, CompTIA has make a generic type type of certification in which everyone can study each and everything. A bit of chunks are there. So about the exam code is N10007. I have given this examination. It's very simple, and if you have a good hands-on and little bit experience of network, definitely you will clear this examination. The exam flow is simple, just like a normal one. 90 minutes are their passing score is 720 as it says. And for the further details, you can just go to the website and check out. So let's talk a bit about the OSI layer. So this is a topic that I've chosen to study about like how the OSI layer looks like and what is OSI layer. So in a normal network, whenever we are talking about a network is everywhere. Like for example, I'm talking to you, so the so voice is there, data is there. You can see the sharing of the screen, you can see the video. So network is everywhere. Sometimes decades or 3 or 4 decades back, it was not like this. So the network was not spread that widely, but now we are, every time we are connected in a network, whether you are doing a WhatsApp calls or Facebook calls or any type of the calls. So you are always there connected to a network. So this is all about the network. So OSI layer is a model that basically tells you like how the network works from layer 1 to layer 7. So in basic, there are 7 layers of OSI. So it tells that how the communication is done between one end, one source to the one destination. For example, I'm contacting you, so there will be a flow that how the data would be passing from one end to the other end. So this is all about the OSI layer model. In actual, right now, still OSI layer is used, but now it is also treated as a legacy. Right now we have TCP IP layer model, but in anyhow it's similar because it is just a newer version of OSI layer. That's all. So as I was telling you about the network, so network, a bit more understanding about the network. So as I told you, like any of the thing that is connected to our cell, whether that's a mobile phone, laptop, headphones, anything that is part of a network. So there are, in a very simple way, there are two type of a network. That is a LAN network and a WAN network. LAN network is a local area network and WAN network is a wide area network. What is LAN? Simple, very simple question. LAN is anything that is connected to your network, which is working in a private address range. That's the LAN is. Like you are not connected to the internet, you are still in your home and you have a router over there and there's an IP range 192.168.1.1 and the range is huge. So that means you're connected to a LAN network. When you connect to the internet, so ISP is involved. So that means wide area networks jumps in. So geographically, wide area network is very huge as compared with LAN. LAN can be huge. I like there is a miss, like people don't get this, that LAN is like small. No, LAN can be wide, a lot huge. Universities can have a huge LAN. But whenever you connect to any of the ISP, any of the third party, so that means WAN is involved and wide area network is involved. So this is the basic understanding like how the LAN and the WAN are basically working. So now let's talk a bit about the OSI layer model. As I told you, that OSI layer model is a model. It's nothing physically there, but that's a model. That's a concept that you should understand, that how the network is working, how the network is working from physical layer till the application layer. Now let's take a bit about the example. If you're using any of the Google application, if you're using HTTP, for example, so that means you're working on the application layer. So whenever you're working on application layer, so that means that that's the human language. For example, I want to talk to my computer. How can I talk to that computer? There's no option. There is an application. For example, there's an Outlook, that's an email. So Outlook is an application. So I use Outlook as an application to give the email. So that's the application layer. So whenever you're talking about the human language, whenever you're talking about the application layer, layer number 7, so that means you're talking about the human language, the application that you will instruct that. That's the application layer. So example is, for example, HTTP can be an example of this. And normally just take an example of browser, or any of the Outlook can be the part of it. So Outlook. After that, when the computer have understood that, then it comes the presentation layer. The presentation layer is the prime focus of the presentation layer is encoding and the conversion of the human language to the computer language. So this is the job of the presentation layer. That job is coding. So sorry about this, guys. I am using the mouse because I'm working from home, so it's difficult to, I don't have the pad. So application layer is the human language that we give the instructions. So that's is coming under the umbrella of application layer. Then is the presentation layer. Presentation layer is the conversion of the language to the computer language. Then come the session layer. Session layer, in a very simple understanding, just a session layer is creating a session, a time in, a timeout, or you can say a half duplex and a full duplex. That's a huge topic. Just remember this with the timeout. Time out. So now application layer is, I'm telling the computer. Presentation layer is changing my language. Session is basically creating a session. Now jumps in the transport layer. Transport layer is basically a layer that is very important layer. It is, remember, whenever we are talking about the transport layer, so that means we are talking about the segments. We are talking about the connection, a logical ports. The ports will be included. Ports can be logical ports. Those ports are, there are different type of ports. So the transport layer is dealing with the segments. Ports are TCP ports and UDP ports. Ports from 0 till 65535. So whenever you're talking about ports, logical ports, so that means you're talking about your transport layer. If you're talking about HTTP, so what it come in your mind? That is the port number 80. If you're talking about HTTPS, so that's the port number 443. So similar, like different type of the ports. So transport layer is the segments, is the port. Port can be TCP, port can be UDP. So there are different type of ports, and those ports are known as logical ports. So segment is there. Now comes in network layer. Network layer is basically treating with the packets. So whenever we are talking about network layer, whenever we are talking about network layer, so that means we are talking about packets. So whenever you're talking about packets, so that means you're talking about route. You're talking about route. So who decide the route? That's the router. So packets, routers are there for the network layer. So now the router decide like which part should be given. Then comes the data link layer. Data link layer is working on frames and working on a switch network. frames, and a switch. So router is there, then comes the switch. So that's the switch. And finally, the physical layer is bits. Now, when you are done with, now coming back, application layer telling up that, okay, I'm telling you that, okay, now you have to go to the web browser, HTTP. So that's the application layer. Conversion is done on the presentation layer. Then there's a session build between one end to the other end done by the session layer. Then the transport layer, and now we are dealing with the ports. What port? Because computer don't understand this. Computer say that, okay, what port you are working? So it will say that I'm working on HTTP. So that means port 80. So now the segment is there. When you have decided the port, then jumps in the router. Okay, now let's decide the path. The path, that means we are talking about IP, we are talking about internet protocol, IP, IPv4, IPv6. So that all works on under the network layer. Then comes the switch. Okay, now let's talk about MAC address. MAC address jumps in data link layer. And finally, when it comes to the physical layer, so that means 1010s are there. So 1010s are traveling through wired line or wireless. Wireless are the signals and wired lines are, are the electronic signals. So this is how the application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer works. Now let's go a bit into detail. Over here, the similar understanding, the process from application layer till the physical layer is known as encapsulation. You are putting, for example, in the application layer, we have a data, then the presentation layer jumps in, then the session layer. When the transport layers jumps in, so that means segment is being attached. Over here, there was a data. When it comes to the transport layer, so a segment is being attached. When it comes to the network layer, so that means a packet is being attached, a packet header, guys, header. When it comes to data link layer, so the frame is being attached over here. Then when it comes to the physical layer, this whole thing is being converted to 101010. So this, the process from here to here is known as encapsulation. So this is important to remember, encapsulation. So when that specific message is received by the receiver, so when it is being removed from bottom to up, so that is known as decapsulation. So encapsulation and decapsulation, this is how it is working. So header is their payload, is whatever the data is, that's the payload. Now physical layer, as we have talked about over here, physical layer is working on 10s. Remember in this, in your like, this is important that remember that is always working. RJ45 cables are there, signals are there, wireless is there, so that everything comes under the domain of physical layer. So let me just give a session. Okay. So layer number one, that is the physical layer, node, station, host. So whatever the appliance is, the last appliance, the NIC is basically working with the physical layer. So whenever there's a RJ45 is connected, so that means the physical layer is there. A node is a device commuting on the network via one or more interface, can include endpoints such as computers, can include forwarding nodes such as switches and routers. Station can be used instead of a node when talking about the wireless network. So obviously APs are there, so that can be a physical layer part. Host typically referred to a computing device. Transmission medium can be cable or wireless. So remember guys, that can be a bounded or can be a boundless network. And it depends upon the physical topology, that is also a part of it. Mechanical specification for the network medium, cable specification, connector form, factors, pin in, pin out. So there are different type of schemes. That is 568. A is there, B is there. There are different type of schemes are there. There's how like whether you are using fiber optics, you are using different type of the cables. So we have a lot streaming of this, like how you can utilize the physical layer. Signaling can be done using bit transmission and encoding. Devices can be the transceivers, media converter, hub, repeater, or modem. Now, coming back again, the physical layer, that means we were talking about 1010s. Now we are talking about data link layer. Now we are moving up. So that means we are decapsulating it. Physical is done 1010. Now the frame is coming in. Now, whenever we are talking about data link layer, just keep in your mind that we are talking about a switch network. We are talking about switch network. We are talking about frames. We are talking about the MAC address. We are talking about the flow control or error detection. These are the basic points to remember whenever you're talking about data link layer. Data link layer also have two sub layers, so that can be utilized. One is MAC and one is one is logical layers. So it is further divided into two sub layers. So why it is divided into two sub layers? Because upper layer is working with the upper layers and the lower layer is working with the hardware. Upper layer is working with the softwares and the lower layer is working with the hardware. So that's why data link layer is very, very important. Local network devices note that forward communication within the same physical network, physical local address, organize bits into frames. So the conversion is done from bits to frame. Destination and source hardware address. So whenever if you just put in the command line ipconfig, so you will find your hardware address over there. That's the MAC address. Error detection, flow control. So there there is a process that is known as FCS. So that FCS is being followed by the error detection. Media access rules, logical topologies, contention, and token pass. These are the topologies. We have different topologies. We have different logical topologies. Star topology is there. Ring topology is there. Mesh topology is there. So those are the type of topologies. So if you see the here over here, destination, source address, payload, and error check. Devices of the layer 2 are the network adapter or network interface card, that is NIC. NIC is your LAN card, that's simple. Bridge, basic switch, or wireless. So as I told you again and again, switch is the part of this layer 2, that means data link layer. Or wireless access point is also, like these days wireless is everywhere, so that is one of the key points that you remember, that switch and the APs are the part of the data link layer. So just a bit, I think that we don't have a lot of time, but I will just try to explain, like hub was a legacy technology. Now it is not being used just because of the one reason, that because of lot of collisions, because the hub was obsoleted, because there was a lot of collision. One message was sent, other message was sent, and it was collision was there. So that was the reason. 802 standards, 802.2, 802.3, and 211. So 211 is for the wireless, then Ethernet. This is known as Ethernet basically. And 802 is a standard decided by IEEE. IEEE have decided different standards. 2 and 3 comes under Ethernet. 11 is for the wireless Ethernet. If you see 11, A, B, G, N, those are again standards for IEEE. Transport layer, remember again, segment, network, IP, data link layer, frames, and data link layer is again divided into logical link control and media access control. This is working with the physical layer, and this layer is working with the upper layer. Logical link control layers are working with the upper layer. 802.2 logical link control sublayer provide the standard interface for the network layer regardless of the MAC sublayer. 802.3 media access control subware or Ethernet. Again guys, this is Ethernet. Logical topology, media access method, hardware MAC address, frame format, error check in physical layers. So it is working with the lower part, so that means the physical layer would be there. So obviously you require a physical address, you require a physical MAC address, error checking should be there, frame format should be there, each and everything. Regarding the physical layer should also be, specification should also be there, because over here you will decide that whether you are going to the wired line or a wireless line. Now, this is a huge topic, but I will try to finish it quickly. So this is layer number 3, that is the network layer. Whenever we are talking about network layer, remember we are talking about IP. We are talking about IP, whether that's IPv4, that's IPv6, so IP is there. Whenever you're talking about IP address, so that means IPv4 is 32-bit, IPv6 is 128-bit. So network layer is basically dealing with the routers. So routers is basically stopping the broadcast. So switch network is always creating a lot of broadcast. So the broadcast is always stopped by the whenever you put a layer 3 switch or a router is working on a network layer. So moving data around a network of a network, that is your network, that is known as network layer. So this is used by uh, internet or interconnectivity of the ISPs. Logical addressing between a network. Routing is the fundamental of a network. So route discovery, path selection, devices for layer 3 is router, layer 3 switch or basic firewall. So firewall is also working for the layer 3. So if we see over here, this little diagram, I will try to explain you that there are different addressing scheme. This is one address scheme, this is one address scheme, this is one. So this is all be separated by the router itself. So remember, whenever their address scheme is being changed, so that is be done by the router itself. One important thing just to remember, there are two types in layer 2 and layer 3. In layer 2, you can go for VLANs. In layer 3, you can go for the subnetting. Both are doing the same job, but the layers are different. VLAN is also segregating the network. Subnetting is also segregating the network, but in the layer 3 and the layer 2. Switching versus routing. So WAN routers, firewalls, LAN routers, subnetwork, switch, and backbone. So let's talk a bit about this diagram. Over here, we have a switch network. In a switch network, there is 100 Mbps. In this switch network is there, this switch network is there. So whenever this switch network is connected to a router, this whole network, this whole is a part of a layer 2. When it comes over here, so that means it is a part of a layer 3. Simple. Switch is the part of the switching network, that is a layer number 2. Whenever you're talking about routing, so that means you're talking about the network layer, you're talking about layer number 3. So it should be very, very straight and clear. So in this starting, we also talked about the layer number 4, transport layer. Transport layer is the layer in which the segments are there, in which the ports are there. The ports are being decided by INR from 0 to 65535. There are different type of ports. HTTP is port 80, HTTPS is port number 443, and there are different type. Again, there are different logical ports are there. So multiplexing and demultiplexing identify the application data via port numbers, and the packages data in a stream of a segment, merges segments from different application over a network link. So guys, transport layer is working on segments, and it is working on logical ports. There are two type ports, one is TCP port, one is UDP port. TCP port is a reliable delivery whenever we are talking about emails. So that means we are talking about TCP port, because a connection is there, three-way handshake is there, acknowledgement is there, negative acknowledgement is there, and everything, the basics are there in the reliable delivery. This is basically TCP. So whenever you're talking about the transport layer, so that means you're talking about ports. There are two types of ports. One is TCP, one is UDP. TCP is a reliable connection. The example of TCP is email, or HTTP is an example of TCP. If you're talking about UDP, UDP is basically unreliable. UDP, for example, I'm using this headphones, the voice over IP VoIP of video traffic is a part of UDP. So if something is lost, if my voice lost, so that means no issues with that, because it will not resend the voice again. But in TCP, the voice would be sent again, not the voice, the language would be sent again. So there are different type of the options in TCP and UDP. So again, back to the topic, transport layer. Transport layer is important layer. It is working with the segment. It is working with TCP. It is working with TCP port. It is working with different type of the ports. TCP port is basically a reliable connection. Connection established, acknowledgement is there, segmentation is there, sequencing is there, and flow control is there. UDP is unreliable, and if something is lost, it's lost. It is not coming back. So I will just go quickly over here, and I was over here. Port number allow receiving host to deplex and reassemble the data from appropriate application handler. Reliable delivery is TCP, as I told you, connection established, acknowledgement, negative acknowledgement, segmentation, and sequencing and flow control. Over here, this one is UDP, guys. Remember UDP, that's the user datagram protocol. That is the UDP. So the UDP, the biggest example of UDP again, that is video call, voice call, all are the example of UDP. Devices can be multi-layer switches or security appliances like advanced firewall IDS. IDS stands for intrusion detection system. IPS stands for intrusion prevention system. They are the next generation firewalls in Cisco. So like they're normally used now. So back over here, just a quick reminder. We have talked about, at least right now, we have talked about different layers. There is an application layer, presentation layer, session layer is there, network layer, transport layer, network layer, then the data link layer, and then the physical layer is there. So physical layer is working on 101010s and RJ45 cables are there. Whenever you're talking about data link layer, so that means you're talking about switch network, you're talking about MAC addressing, you're talking about frames, and you're in the layer number 2 side, like we have a lot of things also there. Flow control is there also. After that, there is a layer number 3, that is the network layer. So that means we are talking about a router. We are talking about the best path. We are talking about different way of communicating the packet. We are talking about the IP. We are talking about IPv4. We are talking about the IPv6. We are talking about subnetting. So that all comes under the domain of network layer. And this is the packet, this is the frame, and the transport layer is the segment. Segments, that means we are talking about ports, we are talking about logical ports. In the ports, we have two type of a port. One is TCP, one is UDP. Over here, UDP is here. TCP is a reliable connection, UDP is a non-reliable connection. TCP, the email is the example of TCP, that 100%, because email is having a sensitive data. So that data can be breached, a data security can be there. So this is one of the biggest reason like why TCP is important. And normally if you have a secure connection, so normally we use TCP for that. But in the UDP, if the data is lost, unreliability is there. So if my voice is distorted because of my internet or anything, jitters are there, video stop, anything, so that will not hurt anything. So that is the part of the UDP. So far, I hope things must be clear. Now, layer number 5 and 6. Layer number 5 is the session layer, and layer number 6 is the presentation layer. Division between the upper layer less important in the real world and the protocols. Session, as I told you, sessions are they are disconnecting a session. Session simplex, duplex, full duplex, and the duplex are there. Half duplex were used by the hub technology. Full duplex is used by the switch network, so that's the simplex. So whenever you are creating a session, that is known as a session layer. Layer number 6 is the presentation layer, character set of the conversion, compression, and decompression support. Encryption, decryption supported. So whenever you are converting, whenever there is a conversion from the human language to any other language, the security involved, HTTPS involved. So a lot of things can be involved over here in the presentation layer. Conversion of the language, remember in the starting I told you, so that comes under domain of the presentation layer. Layer number 5 is, again I'm telling you, it creating a session, a conversation between one end to the other end, the dialogue control. Now we have the final layer is the layer number 7. The topmost layer is the application layer. Does not encapsulate another protocol. Top of the stack provide communication protocol and interfaces for the software processes running on the different host. Application layer versus software implementation of the network functions. So one of the biggest example of the application layer is Telnet. Telnet is the oldest layer of the application layer, which is directly communicating with the machine Like for example, if I want to telnet any of my machine, so I will just use the telnet username, whatever the connection is. For example, 192.168.1.1. I will just click start, and then username password I will directly connect it to the router. So that is known as telnet. So telnet is an example of application layer number 7. So again, our revision of what we have discussed, the application layer is a top layer, is the sevenmost layer in which the web, email, file transfer, lot of things comes in here. So like over here, I was telling you in the starting, like there's a newer model apart from the OSI, there's a newer model that is known as TCP IP model. So if you talk about the TCP IP model, so this three layers are considered as a single layer, and that is known as application layer. These three layers are considered as a single layer, that is known as application layer, because somehow they're doing a similar job and that can be done in a single browser. So it will not hurt a lot like if you merge them. So TCP IP layer model, and this is guys P. I'm sorry, I know it's like, but I hope that you get the point. So TCP IP layer model over here. So 7, 6, and 5 layers, when they merge together, they are considered as a single layer, and that is known as the application layer. Transport layer is considered as similar transport layer, so no changes, nothing. That's the transport layer, and the transport layer is doing the similar job, that is the segment. So it's not doing some rocket science. It is again working with the segment. Segment again, logical ports are there, TCP is there, UDP is there. TCP is the reliable connection, UDP is a non-reliable connection. So that's the job of the transport layer. Then comes the network layer, and it is normally known as internet layer. Internet layer. So it is also known as an internet layer. So network layer is known as internet layer. Application layer, transport layer. This is also this is similar, transport layer and internet layer. Now the data link layer and physical layer were doing the similar job, like in the TCP/IP model. Like they are somehow they are interacted to each other. Remember, the data link layer is divided into the two sublayers. One is connected to the physical layer, and the other layer is connected to the upper layers. So the MAC is connecting over here to the physical layer. So it not making a big difference because they both are the part of NIC. So that's why they have merged it, and they are saying this as a link layer. Or they normally also, this is known as a network access layer. But still Cisco is saying that this is a link layer. So application layer, application layer, transport layer, internet layer, link layer, they are doing the similar job. They are doing the similar job just like what I've told you, but the words have been changed. But for the better understanding, you should understand the OSI layer. So if you have a good understanding of the OSI layer, so you will understand directly the TCP/IP layer model. So in this webinar, I have killed with one bird, two birds. So TCP/IP and OSI layer model is done. Again, just a refresher, application layer is working with the application protocols, emails, web browsers are there, Outlook is there, different things are there. So this is working with the application layer. Presentation layer is basically whatever I'm talking in the human language, when it is changed in the code, that is known as the presentation layer. Session layer is basically creating a session between one end to the other end. So that is known as session. Segment layer, or the layer number 4, that is the transport layer, that is the segment layer, and segments are basically TCP and UDP. TCP I will write again, and UDP, and over here we are talking about ports. I hope you understand this. TCP is reliable, UDP is non-reliable. TCP is 100% delivery. Example is email. UDP is not 100% delivery. Example is voice over IP. Network layer is the router. Router is there. IP packets are there. Datagrams are there. Basic firewalls are the example of this. Deciding the path. IP is there. IPv4 and IPv6 is there. They are the part of the layer number 3, that is the network layer, or the internet layer, you can say. Data link layer, you're talking about the frame, you're talking about the MAC address, EUI, bit switches. So that means you're talking about data link layer. Data link layer is further divided into two more layers. One is the upper layer, one is the lower layer for the data layer. So whenever you're talking about MAC address, so that means you're talking about data link layer. Your normal LAN is basically switch network. Whenever you're talking about a switch, so that means you're talking about your LAN network. Physical layer is the final layer, or is the layer number 1. And whenever you're talking about RJ45, whenever you're talking about any cables, whenever you're talking about anything, so that means you're talking about the physical layer. Physical layer basically works with 101010. Everything comes under the domain of the physical layer, and the data link layer is basically your physical address. When you put the command ipconfig in your CMD, so you will find that your MAC address is there, your IPv4 address is there, so you will find. Just use the command netstat, so you will find the ports, which ports are open, which ports are closed in your computer. So physically, like, check the network, like how the network is working. The network is working on the IPv4, data link layer is working on the MAC address. So when you are using ipconfig, you will find this. When you are using this command netstat, so you will be checking what ports are open, what ports are closed. Application, whatever your Outlook, whatever your you whatsoever you are using for the application, whether that's the web, whether that's the email, whether that's a file transfer, so you can utilize them.